We are now in video 27, and as stated in the previous videos, or in the last video, the video 27 is going to talk about still on academic task 1 writing, but this time discussing pie charts. So, as is the usual, before I begin discussing any of the task ones, I just like to continually remind about the architecture of language in the mind. So language is really about what you're saying, what you're saying and how you say it. So those are the two major hemispheres involving language, the left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain. And so whenever I see a task, I'm always thinking about, for example, the linguistic components of tensing and as well as the nominals. And I also struggle to find a cluster. The cluster to me is the most challenging. And if you do find the good cluster, then it will lead you to the right overview. So it doesn't really differ. Whatever the task one that you receive, it's all about these four attributes that determine the level of your scoring. And so if you miss any one of these four attributes, or if you perform them wrongly, then that's gonna explain why the score would drastically drop to a band 6.5. If you miss two of the attributes, for example, or if you perform two of the attributes wrongly, for example, you have the wrong tensing and then you have the wrong nominals, then your output is already bordering in the band 6, and so on and so forth. So if you don't find the right overview, that's going to be a 5.5. It's easy to score task 1. And so that's why I cannot emphasize these four enough. The architecture of language in the mind. So for example, this is the bar graph on the coronavirus reported cases, which I posted on the IELTS Einstein page on Facebook. And if you can see all these circles over here, that's the kind of cluster that I would use for this particular graph. So I would just isolate the United States here. I would cluster these four countries together, and then I would discuss China separately, and then cluster the rest of these two countries together. And then the tensing here is going to be since this is from April 11, so 2020, so the tensing is going to be in the past. And then the nominals, of course, this is going to be the US and the UK, but the rest of the countries do not have any articles on them. I believe I discussed this when I was talking about the bar graphs. And then, of course, the overview is very visible, where you can see that the US is really the country with the most affected people, with the most number of cases. But China is unique in the fact that they have the most number of recovered cases. Those are the two overview statements I would make there. If you remember in the past, in the past video, the one prior to this, video number 26, I also talked about the population of people in urban areas. And you can see the circles over here. That's the cluster. These three are the regions with the highest number of people in cities. And then these two have comparatively fewer people in cities. And then I would compare all of those with the world figures over here. That's really the cluster. The tensing can be seen in all of these years over here. So the past tenses for 1915, 2007, and then the future tenses for the 2030 range. Then, of course, the nominals. Just watch out for the Caribbean over here. That's the only one with the article the, but the rest do not have any articles. And then, so as per the overview, it is very apparent that three regions have the most number of people in urban areas. If you remember also from the discussion on the line graph in the past videos, you can also see that basically the cluster here is just emphasizing how the population just exploded towards the middle of the last century over here. That's really the overview there. Although it is notable to worth as to it is of note that population is expected to see a downtrend. The tensing is really quite a challenge here. You have 1800 figures here that run all the way up to the 2100 figures. And the nominals are here. So, for example, 1000 millions of people, that's a nominal trap. So, that is actually 1 billion people. So, you cannot say 1000 millions of people. There's no such thing in English. That's a nasty nominal trapper. All right, finally, let's go to the very first video on task 1 writing. I think this was video 20. You can see that tables are really challenging. So what I did here is I just isolated the highest figures there, the highest for this one, the highest for that one, etc., etc. And from there, you can see that there really is a trend. So people in their middle ages, there they have the highest figures as regards to social leisure time activities with four or less people, or in individual leisure time activities, whereas the people in their teens or in their 20s, they really have leisure time with a lot more people. So you can see it from these two circles over here. Meanwhile, for watching TV and then cinema, it's similar. The trend is similar, where you can see more of the young people and more of the retirees being more active. So from there, we can see the overview, which states that middle-aged people are more solitary when they perform leisure time. And apart from that, watching TV is really the most popular of all the leisure time activities, TV or videos. And then watch out for the tensing here is all in the present. And then watch out for these nominals. These are the nominal trappers. That was discussed in detail in video number 20. So just go back to that video. So we'll now move into the pie chart, and actually what I found is a really great pie chart. Look at that. There. So there. So this is really a pie chart that shows the distribution of wealth all around the world. So you can see that the regions of the world are coded accordingly. So you have the United States, or the Americas in pink over here, and then this is Asia over here, the blue colored aspect of the pie chart. And then the Middle East is over here, the blue-green ones. The greens represent Europe, and then etc. etc. These are the smaller regions over here, so they deserve less attention. All right, and so we can more or less see from the color coding of the pie chart that the Americas are really the bigger. This is really all about GDP, GDP figures, and the percentage of their GDP to world GDP. So the Americas top the figures, and then next would be Asia, and then Europe will be the third over there. All right, and then that would be the major overview there. Among all the regions in the world, it's the Americas which have the greatest number of contribution to world GDP. And then apart from that, the overview should also ideally cite which country has the greatest number of GDP. So the United States is really the winner at nearly $20 trillion annually, representing 24.4% of world GDP. China comes next at 12.24 trillion, or 15.4% of world GDP. And then Japan follows, the third biggest, wealthiest country in the world at $4 trillion, nearly $5 trillion a year, representing 6.13% of the GDP. So we would highlight those three, and then the rest, I guess, follows. Like for example, you have the European Union with Germany at nearly $4 trillion at 4.63% of world GDP. And then maybe I would cluster the United Kingdom, France, Italy over there, uh, since more or less they have the similar ranges for Europe. And then, but we shouldn't overlook the fact that in Asia, India has actually more contribution to. So we'll cite India as well. Contribution to world GDP compared to, for example, France and Italy. And there, optionally, we can mention Russia, but the rest of the countries we can just ignore. All right, I think this is significant. Other countries combined contribute 7.45% to world GDP. That's really my cluster. So really the cluster is just going to cover. Oh, we've forgotten Canada, so we'll cover US first. Maybe US and Canada because they represent Americas. And then let's jump to Asia where we'll cover China, Japan, and India. And then let's jump to the European Union with Germany, UK, France, and Italy. And then let's cite the other countries. That's gonna be the cluster. So from that cluster, we can now surmise that the Americas are the richest. The Americas are the is the richest region in the world, thanks to the contribution of the United States and Canada combined. And then Asia comes next, and the European region comes third. Mm, let's now move on to the tensing. So the tensing here should be in the present tense because these figures reflect, this pie chart reflects figures that are generally true. This is true for the present time. So the tense should be in the present. And then these are not GDP figures from 50 years ago, for example. So there is no indicated time. So actually, these are figures from 2017. So we can just use the present tense, or yeah, you can use the past tense also if you wanted to. Like the GDP figures from 2017, you can see that from this fine print over here, the world economy in 2017. Yeah, we can also use the past tense for that. Okay. But more or less, the trend is still the same up to now, at least as far as the contributions of all these countries are before the coronavirus outbreak. All right, and then when it comes to the nominals, just remember that certain countries like United States has to be preceded by the, and that's the same thing with the United Kingdom. Uh, and I guess that's it. That's the only nominal trapper. You just watch out for these numerical figures. So this is 19.39 trillion dollars, and the 24.4% is in percentage to world GDP. All right. So if we had maybe if we were required to write an essay on 1,500 words, maybe we can go into the details of all of these countries. Like for example, in Asia, you have Pakistan, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Thailand, South Korea. Quite a big contribution from South Korea as well. And then the Middle Eastern region, Saudi Arabia is at nearly 1% of world GDP, and Iran is $500 billion GDP, and Brazil and Mexico, etc., etc. But we are only about to write an essay of 150 words, so it's okay if we leave a lot of the details out. Alright, so as is the usual when it comes to video number 28, so what I'm gonna do in that video is just I'm gonna go straight away to type the video since all the lecture was done in this video. So thanks again guys. Any questions you might have, just comment in the comment boxes below, and don't forget to click subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye everybody.